Good evening, everybody. We have a great episode of Poker tonight for you right now.
The first thing we have to talk about is the World Series of Poker. Earlier today, Lizzie got a chance to catch up with Miami John Cernuto. He told us about his day one yesterday and being all in on his very first hand.
Thanks for being here today, John.
My pleasure.
So you made it through day one of the main event. Which day two are you playing? 2A or 2B?
A. So the players of day one and day two get together for 2A.
So tell us a little bit about day one.
Well, day one was really interesting because the first hand that I looked at, I came in like 10 minutes late, couldn't get through the crowd and stuff, and I was all in on my first hand.
What did you
Can
have?
you believe that? What's the odds? Well, I told everybody, ESPN was over there and they were filming it and everything. I said, okay guys, I'm coming in right up front. I swear to God, I'm still playing 7-deuce offsuit. But I had ace-queen of hearts, of course. And the guy at the blind was a very, very aggressive, but kind of, how do you call it? Lack of a better word, donkey player, you know. But I mean, nice guy, but he didn't know what he was doing. I had no clue. So, and I didn't know this. I had no idea what kind of player it was. Yeah, just sat down, and sure enough, I flopped the flush draw, you know. So I made a pretty decent wager, and I got called. I said, that's good, you know. Then I hit the ace. I made another decent wager, and I got check raised for a pretty good amount of money. I said, oh my God, what does this guy have? He could have had a straight and everything. So on the last card, I make the nuts. I had the ace flush. Yeah, the jack of hearts comes off. I said, man. And now he bets into me like $2,500. And this is the first hand of the tournament for me.
So how much did you have left at that point?
I had, well, we just started with 20,000, so I think I had something like 14 or 15,000.
Yeah, a lot of chips.
And I said, could this be the dream hand? You know, like you hear about people, they get 20, 40, 60,000 on the very first hand, you know? I said, could this possibly be? I said, I'm going to try it. And there was a 7 out there, but there was no deuce. I said, well, you know, I played the 7-deuce, you know, and ESPN's rolling. I said, all right, buddy. I said, I'm all in. And I went all in for the 20,000. Not on a bluff, with the nuts. And he just didn't have anything. I mean, he had no idea what he was doing. I mean, if he had probably a pair of aces or 2 pair, he would have called me. You know, I just had no clue. And I didn't know that at that time, but later on I found out he was just crazy. He was just betting like crazy, and he gave all his chips away anyway, and he was gone. But that was pretty exciting.
Good first hand.
I mean, what's the odds of Miami John being all in on the first hand of the tournament on day one? I mean, it's almost impossible. But with the nuts, you can do that. But
that's true.
Didn't get called. Yeah.
Were there any other all-ins on day one?
Not in the first hour. I was the first one all in, and of course, when you're all in, that's who cares?
Yeah.
You know, you want to be all in. All you have to do is get called. That's the hard part.
So, were you familiar with any of the players at your table?
No, the day one was like. Didn't know anybody, and I looked around 5, 6, 7 tables, and nobody that I knew. I think Howard Andrews, Tahoe, was behind me, and he's an old frat brother of mine, and that's the only guy I knew, like within 10 table radius, you know. So
did you notice any differences between the main event this year and last year, like your first impressions?
Pretty much the same, because there's a lot of weak play, a lot of people who don't know what they're doing. They're just there for the big one, and they want the satellite, and more so than any other event. You know, just lots of dead money. It was like Tell City. You really knew what everybody had, and you know, when they were bluffing, they broadcast what they had pretty much. You know, I got nothing. I'm just throwing the money in, you know, and you raise back. I was re-raising with just 1 pair and winning pots. It was awesome, and I got myself up to 55,000 at the dinner break, and things were going really smooth.
That's great. So already there's been 54 bracelets awarded, and you've cashed in 3 events. Tell us about that.
My first 3 events that I cashed in this year were just kind of marginal, you know, nothing really good. But I did have a good shot in this stud high-low split, which would have been my stud 8 or better, which would have been my second bracelet in that. And I wasn't by far the chip leader, but I did win a $90,000 pot with only 2 tables left. And I said, this could be my day. But unfortunately, with the limit, there's not enough chips in play, and the way the structure is, even with 90,000 in chips, I only really had 1.2 hands. I mean, it just was not a lot of play to it. So unfortunately, I didn't get any big hands after that. I kind of like, you know, take a shot at 1, didn't work out, fold my hand. You know, you just in 8 or better, you just have to get to 4th Street to be able to even continue towards the river, much less, you know, play on. You have to get a good card, and that wasn't happening with me. So I kind of got carded in near the end, and I don't even remember what I finally went all in with, but it wasn't much. Probably something like ace 5-7, or but just didn't materialize. But I did get 10th, and I was happy with that. But of course, I'd like to have another bracelet, but just didn't work out.
Now you're going into day 2 of the main event. You could be going after another bracelet right now. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm real excited about day 2. I'll get a new table, and unfortunately, I'm going to do short stack, but I'm a very good short stack player. I had a lot of experience in short stack play, and I'll be waiting. I'll probably ante myself down like I normally do, to probably, hopefully, no more than
you'll get more callers that
14
way.
or 15,000, and then make a move. But I'll be waiting for the goods. I'm not, I'm going to be pushing in with garbage until I absolutely have to, and then I'll just keep on. You know how you keep moving in until you get caught, and you got to get lucky. One of those things, So I'll move in 4 or 5 times in a row until somebody tries to double me up or bust me, if I have to. But I still have about 4 or 5 rounds of where I can actually play a little bit.
Well, good luck on day 2, and thanks so much for coming by, John.
Oh, thanks, Liz. Pleasure talking to you.
Today was day 1B, and there were over 1,600 competitors today. That brings the total field to over 6,000, busting many players over underbet at 6,000.
It's time to play Playin' or Busted. You ready, Rich?
So excited.
First on the list, Paul X22 McGrill.
Busted.
Nope. Quack, quack, double quack, he's still playing.
Excellent.
Chip Reese.
The obvious answer would be in, so I'm going to go with out.
Nope. Wrong again. Chip Reese is still in contention for that main event bracelet. How about Brad Booth?
I'm going to say Brad is in. Positive thinking.
Wrong. 3 in a row. He is out. How about Lane Flack?
Let's go with he didn't play.
It's not a trick question. Lane Flack is still competing. Carlos Mortensen.
He is in.
Finally, you got one right. Carlos is still playing. Hank Azaria, the guy from The Simpsons?
Yes, I know who it is. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to say he's out.
You are correct. He is out. Now we're going to test how good of a friend you really are. Is Theo Tran still playing?
Yes.
You are a good friend. He is still playing. Did you talk to him today?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
But
you just had faith in him.
I know he's a good player. I know he's going to make it deep. That's cool. That's right.
Now, at the time of this taping, there are many big names that are short stacks with chip stacks under 10,000, and those players include Eric Lindgren, Danny Negreanu, Mimi Tran, and Nam Lee.
This year was the first time in years that the main event field was smaller than the year before. Now, this is probably due to the Unlawful Internet Gambling Enforcement Act. Earlier today, Christy Arnett had a chance to talk to Congressman Wexler, who proposed a bill that would remove poker from the Unlawful Internet Gambling Enforcement Act. Here's a preview.
In my view, poker is a game of skill, and in effect, it's a national pastime in America, just the same way baseball is. And Congress did what I thought was a very unhelpful, extraordinarily bad thing, which was to outlaw, to prohibit the playing of poker online. In effect, it's another form of prohibition, just like we tried with alcohol a long time ago. Didn't work with any success. And now people are understanding across the country that for decades, for centuries in America, we've been playing poker at kitchen tables, dining room tables, in the White House, in the Congress. But in the 21st century, where the means of communication and the means of conducting commerce is the internet, we no longer can play poker on the internet. So I've filed legislation which would exempt out games of skill, such as poker, chess, mahjong, but primarily poker is the focus. And what we're saying is Americans, adults, have the right to do as they please in a way that doesn't infringe upon anyone else's rights. But Congress has said otherwise, and I'm trying to fix that. We've got protections to prevent underage gamblers from participating. Nobody wants teenagers being involved in these type of things. We have protections using technology to prevent different kinds of financial mobsters from trying to use this type of thing to do it in a way that we're not interested in. And so with that, the bottom line is we think Americans, law-abiding Americans, if they want to, adults, play poker on the internet, they should be able to. And why would Congress say otherwise?
It was really great to meet him, and I hope he's successful in his endeavor because we'd all like to see online poker playing be legal once again. And in order to view the entire interview, make sure to check out Card Player TV.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight. Quick show. But make sure you tune in tomorrow because the Bellagio Cup 3 WPT Championship event starts tomorrow. Now, there is one last Desperado Mega Satellite that starts tomorrow morning if you want to try to get in for cheap. Thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.
Good night.